First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash, and the ourselves great millstone, while unto his truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. And come back here today with another great powerful lesson, the spirit of power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the type of day lesson is Florida flood emergency. So I like to say shalom to all that listen and learn. Hope this help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, have a quick news article here by NBC News. And it reads that Florida braces for more rain after days of intense downpours and flash flooding. It says a slow moving storm system infused with deep tropical moisture over South Florida brought more heavy rains and thunderstorms Thursday, one day after flash flooding turned streets into rivers and delayed or canceled hundreds of flights. Over a foot of rain was clocked in multiple areas. 7 million people remain under a flood watch Thursday across South Florida for what forecast to be a third day of intense deluge. Let's see what else we got. It says here, even a small duration of heavy rainfall could lead to more flash flooding. The National Weather Service office in Miami warned on X. It said as of Thursday morning, flood warnings has been allowed to expire in parts of southern Florida, but residential flooding continues and several roads remain closed in hard-hit areas. Heavy rains is forecast to pick up in the evening, so it's more to come. So we're seeing right now that these plagues are constantly coming, left and right. Why all these things are happening? Because the Lord is constantly bringing these things to pass, because we were right upon judgment. Also, we know that the signs of the times are here. In the middle, Lord, we constantly go over these things over and over, just about every day. It is something is happening. Flooding, hailstorm, it's earthquakes in diverse places, rumors of war, all these things that happen, great economic collapse, all sorts of things. The love of minute is waxing cold. A lot of things is constantly happening. Bible prophecies are speaking right here. Florida bracing for more rain after days of intense downpours and flash flooding. So right there, the Lord is calling these things to happen. The Lord is trying to get a lot of people attention ever since April the 8th. Ever since this year came in, 2024, it's been prophetic. We seeing these things are constantly picking up. Things are constantly lining up. We're getting very close. Our salvation is at the door. And also the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. We still have unbelievers. We still have people want to do wickedly each and every day. The Lord already said all these things will happen. So a lot right now, these people were displaced. A lot of people was complaining about, look at all this water. Look at this. Look at that. My car is stalled. Look at all this water in my house. And one thing about it, they still are not thinking about their true power, because one thing about it, they still don't know what time that they're living in. We're living in the end time, real time. And the Lord is constantly showing these things are constantly increasing. The evils are growing left and right. And one thing about it, time is constantly getting shorter and shorter. The Lord is accelerating time. We're seeing that the vibration is changing. We're seeing that transition of power right before our eyes. And one thing about it, these things are going to get worse and worse. Right before His great and glorious return. We constantly warning you, left and right. It is here. It is at the door. So now, let's get a quick precept. Let's go here to 2 Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. It said, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." So many great these things that's happening right now, disasters, calamities, catastrophes, events, sights and great wonders, the Lord is constantly showing these things left and right. And a lot of people still are not considering, still are not trying to return or repent, still are not knowing who they are, still want to live wickedly, hate the good, and love evil left and right. And one thing about it, we seeing that this world is constantly coming to an end. We're at the end of an eon. There would be no inhabitant left here. But our people right here, they still love it here. They're getting ready to be unalive here because we seeing right now the Lord is showing forth his power each and every day. He's gradually bringing it in. But one thing about it, though, when all hell break loose, it's going to be like a domino effect. So let's read this once again. And it says, 2 Amos chapter 8 and verse 50 said, for many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time, which in fact is now, shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride. So a lot of people right now are walking in great pride, self-will, covetous, constantly being what despisers and mockers of Yahweh by the prophets. And one thing about it, the Lord said, you constantly scoffed and mocked the prophet till there will be no remedy. And that's why the Lord is constantly bringing these things to pass left and right, because one thing about it, we read upon judgment. And a lot of our people just can't get right. But the Lord is getting ready to get your mind right very soon. So let's get to know. I quoted it. Let's get this right here in 2 Chronicles, because this is where we at right here. All the scoffing and mocking, all the game saying, all these things are getting ready to be a thing of the past. 2 Chronicles chapter 36, we'll start up at verse 15. 2 Chronicles chapter 36 and verse 15 says, and the Lord power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. Verse 16 said, but they mocked the messengers of the Almighty Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy. So that's where we at right. That's why we're constantly seeing all these different events, these different calamities, these different disasters across the world, left and right. People getting displaced, people becoming homeless, people becoming, beginning to see a sense of urgency. People are knowing that something is happening, what is going on. And one thing about it, you're getting ready to find out, so right now, these people constantly mock the messages of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua, which in fact are the prophets. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, though, so we seeing that the truth is being declared. We're seeing that the Lord is, we're in what's called a revealing. You know what I'm saying? The truth is constantly being declared. We're seeing things are lining up just like clockwork. But our people are still of that same rebellious house. The Lord is causing all these things to happen. The flooding, the hailstorm, all this death and destruction. The Lord is making these things come to pass. Let's go here. The Lord is in perfect control. The Lord controls the left-hand side and also the right-hand side. Let's go here. Before we start today's video, let's get this one more. Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Verse 6, Salakia. And it reads, says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord has not done it? And one thing about the Lord is causing these things to happen. He's bringing for your calamities because what? You did not want to hear. You did not want to receive the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, constantly being rebased to this day. That's why the Lord said first my judgment would start at the house of Israel. And one thing about it, we're seeing it already has begun. War is in there. All sorts of things are getting ready to come to pass. A time of trouble that you have never seen before. Jacob's trouble's at the door. It's time to seek the Lord. We constantly warning. So, we're seeing it right now. All these events constantly happening left and right. We're here. It is at the door. So now let's start today's video. Let's go here to today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. I hope that you will get edified.
A state of emergency as Florida is flooded with heavy rainfall. Roads have been turned into rivers. People have left their homes and abandoned their vehicles. Residents have been told to prepare as 30 inches of rainfall could hit the state.
Did you guys see what happened in South Florida? You would think this was a hurricane the way it struck, y'all. They're calling this a life-threatening emergency. Fort Lauderdale had to declare a state of emergency, y'all. I'm talking about 10 to 20 inches of rain, and it's not even over yet. Check this out.
We begin tonight with the life-threatening conditions in Florida at this hour. A flash flood emergency after torrential rains. Several inches already, up to 20 inches could fall during this storm. Treacherous driving on I-95 near Miami. Visibility near zero right there. Part of that major highway shut down for a time. Sarasota tonight underwater. 4 inches of rain in just 1 hour. This fire truck right here barely making its way through. Tornado warnings with destructive winds bringing trees down in Martin County north of West Palm Beach. The rain and the winds causing airport delays and cancellations. More than 1,000 flights canceled or delayed at airports in South Florida. We're also tracking this storm, not over yet, and the extreme heat moving into the east, potentially record high temperatures up and down the East Coast. ABC's Victor Kendall leading us off from Miami tonight.
Tonight, sheets of torrential rain, flooding roads, stranding vehicles, inundating the Sunshine State. A flash flood emergency north of Miami. The National Weather Service warning of life-threatening conditions. 4 to 6 inches of rain in an hour in spots.
It's all just lining up like train on a tracks going over the same areas over and over again.
Part of Interstate 95, that major north-south artery, shut down due to flooding. Crews using vacuum trucks racing to clear debris from storm drains across the area. Driving simply treacherous.
Could not see behind me or in front of me, so we need to drive very slow.
Air travel snarled. More than 1,000 flights delayed or canceled entirely at South Florida airports. The system fueled by tropical moisture, even spawning a tornado warning in Martin County. High winds taking out huge trees. It's been pouring all over the state for days. This fire truck barely making it down the street in Sarasota after nearly 8 inches fell there, nearly 4 coming in just 1 hour. Experts say our changing climate is causing rainfall events like these to become more frequent and more intense. David, we're near downtown Miami where the water keeps on rising. Here it's almost up to my knees, but it only gets worse further down the street where all these cars are flooded. You can also see that school bus. This is not over yet. Let's go to the map. All of South Florida is under a flood watch through at least tomorrow. Up to 10 inches of additional rain possible through Saturday. And we're also tracking the heat that's building in the east. Mid to upper 90s from the southeast up to the mid-Atlantic by Friday. Now, just north of us in Fort Lauderdale, they have declared a state of emergency. When all is said and done here, some areas could see up to 20 inches of rain.
Crazy thing is, I used to live in South Florida, and they're
Look at all this water. I'm so happy I got a Jeep, y'all. That's the only way I'm able to make it through this type of stuff. I need to get some bigger tires, because if we was to have a real bad hurricane, we would not survive. Do y'all see this? This is ridiculous. Look at these cars. Oh my gosh. No, for real. Come on, God. I know you gotta do what you gotta do, but dang. Woo! My sister and my brother, they about to come. They gotta literally walk through this water. This is crazy. Oh my God. This is crazy. Oh my God, this is crazy.
So you see, she's saying that it's crazy. Saying, I know the Lord got to do what he got to do, but one thing about it, the Lord is just a beginning. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's getting ready to have some fun. One thing about it, we constantly warn you left and right. Our people are still a rebellion, just like them right there. Instead of them saying, oh Lord, help us, have mercy upon us. What they're doing, you're still being rebellious, bucking up. So I know you got to do this. Oh, look at this. But see, one thing about it, that's what's wrong with our people. They have that. The Lord gave them over to a reprobated mind, you know what I'm saying? Because they're constantly being rebellious, constantly want to do wickedly each and every day. And one thing about it, the Lord's constantly showing you. And one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to show up and show out. So let's start today's lesson. Let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 12. I quote it all the time, might as well get it. Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 2. And, just like in this video, it says, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not. They have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house. Just like in that last video, that lady was talking, oh, look at all of this. I got to get some taller tire. You can get all the taller tire you can. You're not going to escape the hands of Yahweh by Hashem Abishai. Instead of being humble, you know what I'm saying? You know, being, you know, in the house of mourning, you know, constantly, you know, sighing and crying, you know, not sighing and crying, constantly what? Praying, you know what I'm saying? Being humble, asking the Lord to have mercy upon her. You know, she being rebellious. I know you got to do this, Lord, but goddamn, you know, but she, just like I say, you know, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They are seeing, but you know what I'm saying? But they see not. They are hearing, but they hear not. You know, so you know they telling you all the warnings are here. Hey, you know, more storms are coming. You know, it's gonna get worse. This and that. Going one ear after another. But one thing about it, all hell is getting ready to break loose. Let's read this once again. It says Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 2 says, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not. They have ears to hear, but hear not, for they are a rebellious house to this day. So one thing about it is that we seeing right now, a lot of people are seeing what's going on, you know, in the world, seeing what's going on right here in America, seeing what's going on between Russia and Ukraine, also Russia right here in our own backyard, also China and Taiwan. War is in the air. It's constantly what the war drums are beating. They hearing it. You know what I'm saying? But they hear not. You know, they just blotting it out because, you know, they thinking that better days are coming. You know what I'm saying? But this is the quiet before the storm. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. You know what I'm saying? These spirit of vengeance are constantly working overtime. So now, let's go here to Isaiah chapter 29. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. And it reads that thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts or armies with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storms and tempests, and the flame of devouring fire. So that's exactly what's happening. So you see right there, they was visited, you know, of these storms, these rainstorms, this flooding, you know what I'm saying, going into that house, displacing you. The Lord is constantly what? Breaking the staff of the bread. And also we seeing right now, the Lord is constantly bringing this place to a close. We seeing it right before our thunderstorm, you know, right? Earthquakes and divers, you know, everywhere you look around. I think it was just 2 days ago, it was earthquake in LA County, you know, so it's always earthquakes in California, pretty much all around the world. You can't hardly keep a walk. That great noise is going into this great nuclear exchange that's getting ready to happen, World War III. You know, it has begun. We're already seeing that, you know, these nations were constantly raging right now. We're seeing what Russia is doing with these warships, with these submarines, you know, right in our area. They say, oh, everything is all right. And one thing about it's going to be a normal day. It's going to be a quiet, you know, before the storm. That's where how all wars start, very quietly. You know what I'm saying? Everyone going on with their daily life, a normal day. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Watch that movie, Red Dawn. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, parachuting, you know, fire, explosion, all these things are getting ready to happen. The Lord is constantly bringing it forth. He is visiting the earth that he created. UFO sites are all across the world. And we're constantly warning you left and right. We are here. It is at the door. So when you see these events happening back to back, the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. The Lord is bringing forth judgment. The Lord is getting ready to set up that righteous order. And we constantly warn you left and right. And one thing about it is that a lot of people we know is going to be unalive on this side because they were that same rebellious house that did not want to return to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So the Lord is getting ready to do a whole lot of unaliving. So now, let's go here to Sirach. Let's go here to Sirach chapter 39. Something I want to get out of there. The point gonna be, let's see, Sirach. So like I passed it up. One moment. Oh no, I didn't pass it. I didn't get to it yet. I was thinking about Ecclesiastes. Sirach, Ecclesiastes, chapter 39. Chapter 39. I think it's around 28 or 29. That one. Let me see. It says here, Sirach chapter 39 and 20. Sirach chapter 39 and 29. But we'll read it at the top because this is exactly, these are spirit of vengeance too. You know, the Lord is causing all these things to happen. So let's start up here. But the point is in 29. But it says here, Ecclesiastes, Sirach chapter 39 and verse 28 said, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And who is him? That is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. You know, and one thing about it, they constantly doing the Lord bidding. And we already know that, you know, a lot of people are coming, you know, unalive left and right. You know, that spirit of vengeance is working. And also right here, this is the point I want to make right here. It says here, verse 29, it says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So one thing about it, you know, seeing that, you know, it said that hail, the rain, you know, the flooding, earthquake, all those spirit of vengeance, you know what I'm saying? Lord is constantly bringing it forth, that judgment. So we seeing right here, the Lord is making it plain. The Lord is constantly visiting the earth that he created. Things are going to pick up. Great tribulation, great persecution, great death and destruction is right before us. Verse 30 said, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So one thing about it, you know, so we already been seeing a lot of the animals been acting mighty weird, you know, like in the ocean, you know, the sharks and different animals in the sea, they've been acting up, been coming to the shore, attacking people, you know, these animals, you know, like dogs, these bears and different other animals have been attacking people, are eating people. So a lot of things that happen, those are spirits of vengeance, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is constantly letting things happen left and right, you know, it's just happening back to back. The plagues are not slacking down for a moment. So let's see here. Let's go here to Second Ezra chapter. Let's go here. Second Ezra chapter. See, Second Ezra chapter 15. Let's get this one right quick. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49. We get one more. We'll close out. And it reads. It says, Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49 said, "So I will send plagues upon thee, said widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thou houses with destruction and death." So that's what the Lord's getting ready to do, bring the plagues, the pestilence. You know, already telling you about the bird flu, telling you about what disease X. A lot of things are coming. A lot of people gonna be unalive that way. Widowhood, you know, a lot of people gonna lose their loved one, their husband, gonna lose their wives, they're gonna lose their children, you know what I'm saying? Poverty, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people gonna be homeless. You see this in Miami, a lot of people are displaced. You know, all the water and different things came and flooded out their houses. You know, the Lord is causing these things to happen, you know, in a famine, you know what I'm saying? You know, food shortage, rolling blackout, you know, no power, no internet. All these things are coming. Sword, that sword goes into what? Destruction. I mean, goes into this military activity that's getting ready to come befall us. Also, this civil war. You know, people, you know, gonna be using the modern day gun, which in fact is the modern day sword is the gun. So this that's going into that also is going into a judgment. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, "I come not to bring peace, but a sword." So the Lord's gonna bring forth that judgment each and every day. It already has begun. Pestilence. You know, we're gonna be seeing a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? People gonna be getting sick. A lot of people gonna be taken in a great number, waste your houses, because when all this hell break loose, you know, it's not gonna be any what you can go to the bank, you can go to your favorite restaurant, your corner store. All these things gonna be cut out, all these luxuries. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is gonna break the staff of the bread, and that's when they're gonna be all this robbing and stealing and killing. It's gonna be going and say, waste thy houses. You know, so you know if you got any resource of being a doomsday prepper, guess what? The ones that the Lord can get you to stack all that stuff up, and one thing about it, you get unalive, and the one that he wants to really have walk right in and get it. So one thing about it, you know, is no one is going to escape the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Death and said destruction and death. That's what's getting ready to happen on a very, very high level. Massive death, massive judgment. We're constantly warning you left and right. Even though that will sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. See what happened in Florida. All of a sudden, the quiet before the storm. These people, you know, oh, look at this, all this house, constantly complaining when they ought to be humble. You know what I'm saying? Ask the Lord to have mercy upon them. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, you know, we knowing the signs of the time. We foreseeing the evil, the dangers, the perilous time. They are fast approaching. They're going to get worse and worse. Great tribulation is right upon us. So now let's get to our last and final script. Let's go here. Let's go here to Luke. Let's go here to Luke chapter 21, because this is where we at. Luke chapter 21 and verse 9. And it reads, said, "But when ye shall hear of wars and commotion, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So that's these things got to come to pass. The beginning of sorrow, the commotion, these noise, these uproars, civil unrest, a lot of people, uncertainty, we're seeing nations arising against nations. A lot of things that happen. We don't want to jump the gun. Verse 10 it said, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing that right now. Verse 11 said, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famine, pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. So exactly what we see in fearful sights and great signs from heaven. And they're going to constantly pick up. They're going to constantly increase. Because what? A lot of people are constantly walking in great pride, constantly being self-willed, covetous. Constantly being a proud. And the Lord is getting ready to cease all of that. The Lord's getting ready to bring it to a close. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes. We're seeing that we hear rumors of wars all over the place. Things could go nuclear at any given time. Florida, there are a lot of people say, oh, they're working at heart manipulating weather machine. But one thing about it, remember, the Lord controls both sides, the right hand and the left hand side, And one thing about all these things that happen through the spirit of power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, Esau, Edom is not running a damn thing. And one thing about the Lord is constantly making him what? Bearer and bearer. And one thing about it, the Lord shall what? Choose your delusion. So a lot of people going to die, could starve to death. You could drown, or you could catch some type of plague, some type of disease. You know what I'm saying? So Lord's going to bring all these things. He's going to bring them upon you because what? You are constantly being rebellious to this day, being stiff-necked, hard-headed, still don't want to listen, still are not believing. To this day, I don't believe this. This is not going to happen. That ain't going to happen. It's constantly happening right before your eyes. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 66. We'll close out here and verse 4. And it reads that, I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delighted not. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. So that's what the Lord is getting ready to do. All these reprobates, all the people that love it here, they're getting ready to die here. Because one thing about it, the Lord said, come out of her, my people. This is not your rest. Lord, come out of her what? Spiritually. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the time. We constantly go over these things over and over because we are here. The prophecy is speaking loud and clear. We're seeing it right now. It's not slacking down for a moment. They're constantly increasing on every side. And one thing about it, that we know that we're here and we're rejoicing. Our salvation is at the door. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Florida Flood Emergency. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rikah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.